Ciryl Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170 pounder. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
We've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Joe Rogan has just broken down the upcoming super fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane. On the other hand, Henry Cejudo said that giving Tom Aspinall a bout with the top contender Ciryl Gane is a major move. He pointed out that Gane is a big and mobile heavyweight and believes Aspinall will not be able to handle him as easily as he has done with others. Cejudo also mentioned that this fight will serve as a serious test and a strong sign of whether Jon Jones is planning a return to go after the title again.
Giving them one contender, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is somebody that's a big heavyweight, that's very agile. I don't think Tom Aspinall gets rid of him right away like he has with other people. And I think that'll be a big indication if Jon Jones wants to come back and reclaim that bout once again.
Moreover, Kamaru Usman shared that Ciryl Gane is often overlooked even though he is a highly skilled fighter who can move smoothly in the cage, use punches, kicks, and elbows, making him a complete and dangerous threat. Still, he added that Tom Aspinall's quick movement, sharp boxing, and power make it hard to doubt him, pointing to the high-level showdown ahead.
Ciryl Gane is, people forget how fantastic he is. A guy that can kind of float around the octagon, touch you, kick you, hit you with elbow. He's just a complete game. But man, Tom's movement, his boxing, speed, and his power, it's very, very difficult to doubt this man anymore.
However, Joe Rogan mentioned that Ciryl Gane, a 6'5" and 247 pounds, moves with the speed and lightness of a welterweight, comparing his footwork to Wonderboy's. He pointed out that Gane has redefined what striking looks like in the heavyweight class and wondered if he has what it takes to get past Tom Aspinall.
Ciryl Gane, who's 6'5", 247 pounds, moves like a 170 pounder. He's bouncing like Wonderboy. Completely changed the standard of heavyweight striking.
New sparring footage of Tom Aspinall has surfaced ahead of his clash with Ciryl Gane, showing him looking sharp and composed. He displayed fast hands, clean combinations, and solid defensive movement, giving fans a glimpse of the timing and precision he plans to bring into the octagon.
Let's go!
Furthermore, Tom Aspinall expressed confidence that he can match Ciryl Gane's speed and movement while holding a clear edge in grappling and raw power. He pointed to his history of knockouts and stressed that one precise punch from him can completely shift a fight, especially in the heavyweight ranks. Aspinall revealed that in his last outing he was placing himself for 5 rounds and not even throwing with full force, yet still finished the fight with a knockout, proving how dangerous his strikes are.
I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power. And I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight, especially with me throwing him.
Tom also spoke about finally facing Gane after over years of delays, noting that this is the 4th time they've been booked and will take place on October 25th in Abu Dhabi. Aspinall made it clear his aim is to put an end to Gane's championship runs once and for all.
Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. This is the 4th time we've been matched up together, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi, me and Ciryl. The 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's 3rd title shot. We are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good.
On the other hand, Ciryl Gane has also been putting in serious work, focusing on refining his explosive power during his camp. He has been sharpening his punches, mixing up his attacks, and improving his footwork, showing the kind of force and technique that make him a real threat among the heavyweights. Michael Bisping echoed this sentiment, noting that Tom Aspinall has already dismantled many of the UFC's top heavyweights, delivering impressive knockouts against Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, and Alexander Volkov. Still, he stressed that Ciryl Gane presents a unique challenge with his blend of size, speed, and athleticism, even likening both fighters to a heavyweight version of Georges St. Pierre. Bisping explained that while Gane's striking is sharp and his movement is elite, his grappling weaknesses were exposed by Jon Jones and could once again cost him against Aspinall.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blades, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic. He's very quick. He's agile. He's light on his feet. He could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling. That's what cost him against Jon Jones, and that's probably what's going to cost him against Tom Aspinall. You never know. He could clip him. This is a dangerous fight. This is heavyweight MMA.
He highlighted that Aspinall's grappling, developed since his teenage years under the guidance of his father, might be the deciding factor in this matchup. Though he acknowledged the danger of Gane's stand-up game and the unpredictable nature of heavyweight fights, Bisping leaned toward Aspinall to emerge victorious. He also suggested that Jon Jones would be watching closely, ready to voice his reaction if Aspinall cannot match the level of dominance Jones showed against Gane.
But Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait. Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what Jon did, guaranteed we're going to get some tweets.
Matt Brown mentioned that although both fighters are under pressure, Tom Aspinall has more on the line because of the current state of the heavyweight division and his own future legacy. He said that if Ciryl Gane comes out on top, it could hurt the division's reputation even further, while Aspinall has the chance to prove he's the top name in the heavyweight scene. Brown pointed out that even a close contest or a small setback for Aspinall could shape how the division is viewed and affect his place within it.
It's almost an unfair comparison, right? When you talk about pressure versus pressure, everybody's under tremendous pressure. But I guess when you kind of look at it from not just pressure, but potential legacy and career and what's on the line, I think it's hard to not go with Tom Aspinall because the heavyweight division is on the line. If Gane goes in and beats him, no disrespect to Gane, love the guy, the heavyweight division loses a lot of respect. Even if Tom goes out there and it's a close fight or he gets dropped and then has to come back or something, like, the heavyweight division has so little respect right now, probably deservedly so, I think. You know, with Gane getting his third title shot in a couple years, like, Tom has to show that he is the heavyweight division. You know, he has to prove that to the world. Like, I am, you know, the heavyweight division's not just shit, but like, I'm so good that the heavyweight division is shit, right? This is kind of his thing that he has to go out there and prove to the world.
He also stated that the result could influence upcoming fights, including a possible clash with Jon Jones. Brown said that Jones will be paying close attention, looking for any flaws or mistakes from Aspinall, which could shape future opportunities. With the heavyweight division already lacking respect, this makes the fight an important moment for Aspinall's career.
If he goes out there and loses to Gane, you know, the division already is not respected. That brings Tom down significantly, I think, right? And of course, you know, the potential Jon Jones fight, which is whatever, who knows, right? Like, how he beats Gane, assuming he does, may play a factor too. Like, if it turns out to be a close fight, again, John's going to be on his phone with Twitter open watching this fight, like, just waiting for Tom to fuck up and get dropped. get leg kicked and limping a little bit, or you know what I mean? John can't wait for that moment.
However, Tom Aspinall said that unlike some fighters who look dangerous in training but struggle when the moment arrives, he performs even better when the pressure is on. He explained that talk and hype do not bother him, and when the gloves go on for his October 25th fight with Ciryl Gane, it will come down to who can deliver when it matters most, not the build-up beforehand.
You know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up, and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating performances. Oh, talk's just talk to me, mate. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, we're both going to take our shirts off, get a pair of gloves on, and go in there and see who wins on October 25th. So it's not really going to change anything, to be honest.
Moreover, Daniel Cormier said that finally seeing the fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane come together is exciting, as fans have wanted it for quite some time. He pointed out that the betting odds do not reflect how competitive the fight truly is, with Tom listed at -325 and Gane at +265. But he believes the matchup is far closer than those numbers suggest.
We've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom -325, Gane +260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall -325, Ciryl Gane +265.
Chael Sonnen explained that the upcoming fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is a key moment for the heavyweight division. He described it as a transition point that could shape the future of the weight class. Sonnen admitted that when it comes to matchmaking, he often takes the direct route, picking the biggest fight available rather than planning too far ahead. However, he acknowledged that at times the sport needs a more strategic, chess-like approach, where long-term planning matters more than quick opportunities. He also mentioned that according to Ciryl Gane, this matchup had already been scheduled and cancelled 4 times before. Sonnen added that for the sake of rankings and the division's integrity, the fight makes perfect sense at this moment.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be. Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. According to Ciryl Gane, he just did an interview, they tried to make this fight 4 times. And for rankings and for the integrity of our rankings, I get it.
Chael Sonnen further said that Ciryl Gane is a highly skilled and decorated kickboxer with a professional record of around 27 wins and 3 losses. Though, he admitted he sometimes confuses it with 29 wins and 2 losses. He explained that this level of striking experience makes Gane a serious threat to anyone in the division. Sonnen highlighted that Tom Aspinall, on the other hand, has built his reputation by finishing 6 of his opponents in the same way, keeping the fight standing and ending it with powerful knockouts. This shared tendency to strike, combined with their different levels of experience, sets up a fascinating stylistic clash that has caught a lot of attention.
And it's a hard matchup. By the way, Ciryl is a very decorated kickboxer. Off the top of my head, I believe he was 27-3 in professional kickboxing. 27-3. I get he and Adesanya's record confused one time. One of them was 29-2 and the other one was 27-3. And I'm sharing for you when you're Tom Aspinall and you beat 6 men all the same way, which is stand up and by knockout. It's a matchup wise, it's an interesting match.
Chael Sonnen lastly questioned why Tom Aspinall was stripped off his title, saying it is not as simple to figure out as many believe. He expressed real curiosity about that decision and asked for a proper explanation behind it. Sonnen mentioned that while he looks forward to the matchup between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, what interests him even more is the aftermath and the ripple effects that might follow the result. He then shifted his focus to Jon Jones, suggesting that Jon Jones' sudden retirement could have been influenced by the changing landscape in the heavyweight division, with rising names like Aspinall and Gane possibly threatening his legacy or altering his future plans.
You want to be a really smart guy and you want to impress Chael? Tell me why Tom is no longer interim champion. Put that into words for me. I'm serious. Explain to me why Tom was stripped of a title. It's not as easy of a riddle as you might think. And when I look at Tom versus Ciryl, I like the match. But I love the potential fallout from the outcome of the match much more.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about the matchup? Would love to hear your thoughts on this, so share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.